Good morning and welcome to our Community Affairs program that we call 30 Minutes. Today our special guest is Miss Carolina Connor. She is the director of the Obion County Public Library. And thank you for coming again today.
You're welcome. Glad to be here.
You've always got so much information to give to the public because things change at the library all the time, don't they?
All the time. We've got a new calendar every month with different activities happening. So you never know what's going to happen when you show up at the library.
So that's the reason we talk to you as often as we do, to keep everybody informed, because you have so many people who take advantage of the library.
Absolutely. I was just running the numbers for our Libby checkouts, which is the app where you can get ebooks, audiobooks, magazines. And we had over 3,500 in the month of February checkouts on Libby, so that's great.
I remember when you started that, you came here and you talked about that, and I wondered if it was going to work, but it has, hasn't it?
It has, absolutely. We still want you to come into the library, but if you're in a pickle and need a book, Libby's there for you, so we're glad to have that resource for the community.
Still a lot of readers out there, isn't it?
Absolutely. We see anywhere from probably 100 to 300 people in any given day coming into the doors of the library. Now, in the meeting rooms, there's a lot of that, people having their different events there. But, we've got our regular patrons and had several new patrons sign up for library cards recently, too, moving into the area. And the first stop they make is the library.
Again, we do appreciate you coming in today, and we're going to backtrack here just a little bit as we do each week on the program. We like to let our guests introduce themselves to those who are listening today. So, Carolina, I'll let you do that.
All right. Carolina Connor. I've lived here in Obion County the majority of my life. I've been serving as the library director for almost the past 4 years. It'll be 4 years in July. And have worked at the library since 2011, serving in a couple different roles there. So just glad to be able to give back to my community in this position.
That's a job you've really enjoyed, isn't it?
Absolutely. I really feel like I've found my calling. I am currently getting my master's from the University of Tennessee at Knoxville in Information Sciences, and I'll be wrapping that up after the summer. So I will have a master's.
Congratulations.
Well, thanks.
And we do have many topics today that you'd like to talk about. And you want to start with the Friends of the Library book sale?
Sure. So each year, the Friends of the Library, who are a volunteer organization who help fund our special projects, mostly summer reading and that kind of thing, they have a biannual book sale. They are working on having one in May, so it'll be May 17th and 18th. And that is open during regular library hours. So on Friday, they'll be there from 9 to 5. And on Saturday, it'll be 9 to 3:30.
Just come in and browse and look.
Come in and browse the books. Most books don't cost over $2. So you can really find some good deals at the book sale if you're needing to stock your home library.
What kind of books are involved in this sale?
So the majority of the books that we are putting in this sale have been donated. Say somebody went and bought the newest James Patterson because they just had to have it, but they don't really want to keep it. So they'll donate it to us. And if we have the copy already of that book and it's in good condition, then we will give it to the Friends of the Library for them to resell at the book sales.
So is it kind of a swapping out for you? You're putting new stock in, is that right?
Sure. So, I make a book order. I try to make a book order at least once a month and make sure that we have those new titles. But with the Friends of the Library, a lot of the donations we get, if they have donated an older James Patterson book, maybe our copy has been well loved and it's starting to fall apart. So at that point, that donation can be taken and put into our collection. And then the old one gets repurposed into the book sale. So you never really know what you'll find at a book sale.
Do you get a good response from that when you have the sale?
Yes, I'd say they make around $1,000 for each sale.
Wow.
And then there are also books continuously out in the hallway there in the library that are Friends of the Library books for purchase. So they keep the book sale running all year long, but during these biannual book sales, they put all the stock out for everybody to peruse.
And I heard you say the author's name there a couple of times. Do people recommend certain authors, some more famous than others or popular than others?
Sure, yeah. But everybody has their niche. So James Patterson, he pumps out books all the time, has his own publishing company. But he's a big one that checks out. John Grisham is a big one that checks out. David Baldacci. When we order, we have those books where they come standing order, and we get like 2 copies a piece because everybody wants them as soon as they come out.
So when they come out, you get them then?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Our new shelves are located right in there after the circulation desk, and we keep them on those new shelves for 3 months at a time, and then they go out onto the regular shelves.
Do people come in and say, can you get so-and-so book to put in the library? Are there recommendations?
Yes. So I will say that book purchasing is a community affair. I'm never going to be able to pick out books for everyone. So anytime I get a suggestion, I really take it to heart. I want to use our taxpayer funds to buy the books that the taxpayers want to read. Now, there is a process that we go through. Someone will put in for a specific book, and depending on when it came out, like if it's a 10-year-old book, I'm probably not going to order it, or I'm not going to be able to order it, like it's going to be not available through our book purchasing company. But in that case, Miss Penny, who is our resident ILL person, which stands for Interlibrary Loan, we have the ability to ask for that book across all libraries in the state. And we have a courier drop off books twice a week. And so it may be that we don't have that book and we can't get it personally, but we can borrow it from another library for you to borrow from us.
So they run every week?
Every week, twice a week.
Do people borrow books from you, from your library?
Yes, I would say Penny puts out at least 10 a week, if not a day, when they come pick up. We are very blessed to have a large collection where other libraries in the state may not have that collection, so we're able to loan out our books. But the beauty of that is that we get the checkout and the other library gets the checkout, so we're really just all about sharing.
Do you get that book back?
Mm-hmm.
You do, after a certain period of time or
Yeah,
so?
we usually check them out for a month or so if they go out via ILL. Now, we don't check out our new books in that. We keep them new for 3 months, and then after that, if we don't have a lot of holds on them or something like that, or all of these books going to movies, if there's a book going to movie and we know it's coming, we're not going to let another library check that book out because our patrons are probably going to want it first.
That's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now, you said Friends of the Library. Who are Friends of the Library?
They are a volunteer organization, so they can be anybody. So if you or any of your listeners are trying to find a way to get involved in the library, the volunteering with the Friends is a great way to get started. They meet every third Tuesday of the month at noon. They've put together, they're the ones that'll feed the commissioners on Monday when they come to the library for their meeting, and then we have a brunch afterwards. It's the Friends of the Library that puts that together for us.
So it's like a board in itself then?
It is. And they do the book sale, and they sell different T-shirts, and they come and volunteer at some of our events if we need extra help, kind of a thing. So it's a great way to give back to the community. And if you're a big library person, it's kind of a way to get your foot in the door there and kind of learn what the library's doing.
That's interesting. And you say people take the books, and they probably read that book maybe, but they want it in their library.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Like me. Say I've heard an album, heard it 10 times, but I still buy a copy of it.
You need to
keep
see it
at
on
home.
your shelf just in case you get the urge to pick it up and read it again or listen to it again.
That's very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It really is. And let's talk about, because it's coming up soon, the summer reading program.
Absolutely. Summer reading is big time deal at the library. Ashley, our children's coordinator, has got, I brought the brochure with me so you can keep it, but she's got 6 weeks worth of activities planned out already. And our big events that we do are going to be, we're going to have a foam party. Not phone, you're not talking on the phone, like
F-O-A-M.
foam bubbles. Sometimes when I go to school and I say, we're going to have a phone party, they think we're all going to be on our phones. So I'm talking about the bubbles in the backyard. We're also going to have a petting zoo one week. And we are also going to have some bounce houses to celebrate the end of summer reading. And I think we're going to kind of loop in the community on that. I think Obion County Imagination Library is going to be there celebrating their 20 years here in the area. I think the health department is going to come out and have some stuff that day too. So we're really looking forward to it being a big community fun day in the library park.
And you have a lot of children to take part in this, don't you?
Yes, absolutely. And we're really trying to push, even not in summer reading, but we've got a new program we've started called 1,000 Books Before Kindergarten. So those smaller children in our community, you know, we have several that come to story time every week, but now we have a program, an incentive program for them to do 1,000 books before kindergarten.
What ages are involved in
I would say,
reading?
you know, birth to 5.
Yes.
You know, just right there before they start kindergarten. But they can be tiny and you can still read to them. Still
Yes.
counts.
Is that every day?
Story time happens every Wednesday at 10:30.
So when they come in, do they have to come in with a parent, or are they dropped off and then they come back and pick them up? Or?
With a parent. We want the parent to stay with them. Hopefully check out some books afterwards. They do a craft. They get a snack. You know, it's just a fun little, and it instills that love of reading from a young age. And by keeping that parent there, they're creating those memories, hopefully, that they can lean on, you know, associating reading with love, really.
And it benefits them, I'm sure, as they are starting school.
Absolutely. That 1,000 books before kindergarten, I don't want to give a wrong number, but yesterday I was in a Reading Railroad meeting, and they were talking about how vital it is to success in school to get these books in the hands of small children. Mm-hmm. You know, you may not think that the books that you get from Reading Railroad are gonna, you know, really impact your 2-month-old, but if you're going to sit down and read that book to them, it will impact them. They're hearing language they haven't heard before. Again, you're instilling that comfort with it. You know, you're spending time with an adult. But the vocabulary aspect, you know, just talking to your kids can really, you know, stimulate the brain and get it working so that when they get to school, they're able to intake all that information a little bit better and easier.
Because we're talking about, I guess, going into preschool and starting up to that age, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, the Imagination Library, if you sign up for that, now that is, the child will get a book in the mail every month from the time that you sign them up until they're 5 years old. So that's putting books in the home. And then the library, you know, hopefully the library, you're coming to check out the books and, you know, people think you're buying them, but you're not. You're going to bring them back. And but the kids love to come out and pick their own books out. Like, it's fun to watch them do that. So summer reading is a celebration of all of that, really and truly. This year, it's Adventure Begins at Your Library. So we're going to have themed weeks. We've got Space Adventures one week and Fairy Tales one week, World Travelers. Oh, we're going to do a Taste Around the World at that point. So snacks from everywhere. There's a Fantasy Week, a Sea Adventures Week, and a Carnival Week. So lots of fun stuff planned for summer reading.
Someone hearing this today say, I would like to get my child or my grandchild into this. What do they do?
You can call the library and ask for me, and I will get you on the right path. Our summer reading sign-up doesn't start till the end of May, kind of when school gets out. It'll start that first week of June. We'll have like a big registration event beforehand. And it all goes through an app. Used to have to fill out a reading log and bring it in. And now we have it on an app, and you can log your minutes from your phone or your computer. And then you can even pick out your prizes on the app or on your computer, and we'll set them back for you to come get when you come to town. You know, a lot of people don't come to town on a regular basis, and we are in town. So this is a good way for you to participate at home. You don't have to read library books to count those. You can read any book that you have at home all reading counts, newspapers, magazines, comic strips, graphic novels. We really just want you reading.
Just want reading to the children.
Anything, yes.
Because they soak it up.
They soak it up. Anything you say to them, they soak it up. They're little sponges.
That is true. They do. That's why you have to watch what you say.
Exactly.
At that time. For sure. Again, today we are speaking with Miss Carolina Connor. She is the director of the Obion County Public Library. And let's talk about this project that is so neat how this was able to work and you were able to help to get the votes for this, is the new county seal project.
Yes.
That the people in the county got to vote for this design.
Yes. Miss Crystal Crane, county clerk, came to me, and she's president of the County Clerks Association across the state this year. And our past seal was a little outdated, and so, she's having the conference in Obion County and needed a new seal to put on the advertising stuff and really make it look nice. And she had the idea to go to the school systems and ask students to submit designs for a county seal. And so once she got those submissions, we worked together to make a Google form, which, is just part of Google. If you have Gmail, you can make a Google form. And we were able to share that link on Facebook, and we had a QR code. So when you came into the library or the courthouse, you could scan that QR code with your device, and it took you straight to that Google form, and you could place your vote. So
and you had quite a few votes, too.
Yeah, around 700 votes came in for it.
And the artwork by these kids here in all of the Obion County schools, it was the high schools, wasn't it?
Yes.
It was amazing.
It was.
They
were all really, really good. It was a hard choice. I'm glad we did it the way we did it.
Right.
And it wasn't just down to one person's, view, because they were all really good.
And Jose Ramirez, a junior at Obion County Central, I guess you could say overwhelmingly got a big vote for that.
He did. It was majority his seal that got those votes.
Yes. And it does look so much nicer. I mean, Crystal said during the meeting that she was looking for something fresh to present across the state and on her letterhead. And he did a really good job. And if I'm not mistaken, he is going to be recognized, I think, at Monday's county commission meeting.
Oh, great. Yeah.
I think so.
Well, that'll be great. Full circle moment there.
Yes. And it made it easier, as you mentioned, for the county commissioners, because when they saw his vote tally, they all accept. It was a unanimous vote to accept it.
It was a unanimous vote. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, that is really neat how you all were able to do that.
It was a great partnership. I really enjoyed working with Crystal on that.
Okay, you got some other things to talk about here. Read around the library.
Speaking of partnerships, we're always looking for partnerships at the library. So Read Around the Library was our way to celebrate Read Across America Week, which is usually that first week of March. They usually kick it off with Dr. Seuss's birthday on March 2nd. And we decided to celebrate all reading on Read Across America Week. So we partnered with, Masquerade Theater was there, Obion County Coalition was there, Camelot. They are like a foster care service, Obion County Reading Railroad. I was there. As director extraordinaire.
A big partnership.
It was, yeah. It was a great event, and so what kids did is they came in and they got their little passport to visit each station. At each station, they had a different book highlighted, and so there was either like a craft or an activity that they did at each station with each group. So it was just a great day. I think we had around 200 people come to that event. So wow. I think she said she handed out like 50-ish passports, so 50 kids. But then you're looking at the parents and the grandparents, because some people came in with like 3 adults with them. So, and like for my station, I had a little obstacle course set up in the children's department. So they came in and we talked about my favorite book, Superworm by Julia Donaldson. And then they got to do little obstacle course.
By having your children's events, you're probably introducing a lot of adults to the library that
absolutely,
that may not have been coming, right?
I will say that our partnerships within the schools has really helped that out. Either they're bringing classes into the library for, like I think first grade at Union City is planning to have like their end of the year picnic. So they'll come in and we'll do story time and we'll do our outdoor book walk. We'll do crafts, and then they'll just play in the backyard for the rest of the day. But they go home and they say, we got to go back to the library because XYZ we can do there. And so they bring their parent back. Ashley, our children's coordinator, goes to Black Oak once a month to read to those classes. And they've made their end of the year trip for their fourth graders, I think, a trip to the library. And we'll do the same thing, So, and again, those kids are probably not getting to town that often, those Black Oak kids, but we are making those connections with them, and they want to come to the library. They want to see Miss Ashley in the children's department, and so they're bringing their parents in.
So you have a good network and partnership with the school system then, I see, right?
Yes, absolutely. They let us come in and talk about summer reading so we can try to get their kids coming in to those events to sign up. I was just at 6th grade in Union City getting permission slips and library cards for them so that they can utilize the Libby app for their school readings. Abby Cruz was who I partnered with in that, and she was saying her class size this year, some of the group reads that they have together, they didn't have enough copies of that book. Well, Libby is going to allow them to have extra copies of that book. I'm trying to encourage the schools to give me their reading list so that I can be sure to purchase those titles. So if they don't have enough at school, we can supplement.
Well, that is great. Wow. Other things you have on the list and coming up soon, you said you got Easter holidays.
Yes, so we will be closed on Good Friday and the Saturday before Easter. So I just like to get that out there.
Sure.
And let people know.
And you also have family trivia there, too.
Oh, yes. That is coming up next Friday, the 22nd. Family Trivia Night is going to be Disney-themed. You can go to our website, oclibrary.org, and you can get registered for those events there. You just click on the Events tab and go down to Children's, and it'll have a whole list of everything we've got going on.
So what is family trivia?
Ashley invites families to come, and just like a trivia that they have at Hops of Barley, she sets it up so there's a point system, and she does different themes. This theme is Disney, but she'll probably do one during the summer. But it's one of those programs that people, once we have it, they're like, oh, we need to do this again. So,
well, that's very interesting itself.
Yeah, so get signed up if you want to come. It's from 5 to 7 on March 22nd. And so you could, come do that and then go grab a bite to eat and make a night of it. And it's free. There's no charge for that event at all.
And I asked you before we started the program about your computers, because a lot of people may not be familiar that you do have computers there at the library, and you said that they are used very often.
Yep. We have regulars that come in every day to use the computer, as well as people just passing through who, for some reason, a lot of people need their insurance cards printed off for their car, and so the DMV will then send them to us to get them printed. It's 10 cents a page for a black and white copy and 50 cents for color, so really reasonable prices. Or if you happen to be out and about running errands and you need a shipping label printed real quick, we can do that too.
People use them just for general knowledge and information also, right? Mm-hmm. You have a certain section set up in the library, a computer room or something?
We have computers just out on the floor.
Out on the floor, okay.
And then Will, our technology person, he does tech time every other Wednesday from 1 to 2 p.m. You can come in with any tech questions you have, any device questions you have, and he will help you through those. But you can come anytime. I would say just give us a call, 731-885-7000, and ask for Will, and you can set up a meeting time with him too.
I know someone who has used your library for genealogy.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's a huge thing right now. So the state provides us with an ancestry database that you can use when you're in the library. And then we also purchased the ProQuest database for people to use when they're researching their family.
So a lot of people are doing that now, huh?
Yes, and we have it too on our website, and again, www.oclibrary.org, where you can go in and submit a query on the internet, on the website, and then it emails that to our genealogist, Miss Rebecca, and, she will do the research for you, back and forth with you. And she has a lot of inquiries come from outside Obion County.
Oh,
even.
Yeah. And you have Wi-Fi. You mentioned that also.
24/7 Wi-Fi access in the parking lot, in the park, and anywhere in the building.
Also, another word that you mentioned earlier on in the program that we always talk about is your library cards. That's very important, isn't it?
Super important. We are really working on getting everybody in our county a library card. You can use the Libby app with it. You get to check out our materials. And all you have to do is bring in your ID and a piece of mail with your current address on it. Or if your ID has your current address, that'll work too. If you live, work, or own property in Obion County, you get a card for free. If you don't live, work, or own property in Obion County, it's $20 a year to get a library card and be able to utilize our resources.
How many are you up to now? Do you know?
Oh, I don't know. I haven't checked lately.
Several thousand?
Oh, several thousand. Definitely.
Always growing too, right?
Yes. Like I said, I just went and got those 6th graders all set up. And I think I worked the front desk the other day, and I signed up at least 4 people while I was working the front desk. And again, it was a person who was new to the area, and she was just so excited. She was from East Tennessee, and she didn't have time to peruse while she was there, but she was like, "Oh, I got my library card." She was so excited.
That's great. Well, when you go into a new place, a library is a tremendous help.
Yeah. You should always start at the library because they're going to know where you need to go get your water turned on or your electric bill paid or, where's good to eat. We get questions of all kinds every day.
So, if you need a library card, come to the Obion County Public Library. You said $20 a year.
If you don't work, live, or own property in Obion
County. And you told me one time before in one of the earlier programs that there is probably many people just within Obion County itself who have not been in the library.
Absolutely. I get at least one a week who will walk in and say they've never been in the building.
Yeah.
And for those people that have been into the library, some of them will walk into the park out back and say, well, I didn't know all this was back here.
Right.
So there is literally something new to be discovered, whether it be small or large, at the library every day.
Well, I always appreciate you coming on and talking about your updated programs and projects because it just shows that the library is now just not a building where you go in and get a book and leave.
Right.
There's so much to it. You all do so much for children around here that's just, it's amazing. And it's great. It's great work that you do.
Well, the library's main goal is just to be what the community needs. So that's what we strive for. And
Obion County really has a really nice library.
We're extremely fortunate.
Well, we are running out of time for today's program, and we do appreciate Miss Carolina Connor coming in. She is the director of the Obion County Public Library, and anything we can help you with at any time, just feel free to let us know.
Well, I love coming to talk.
We love guests like you. And that concludes this week's program. We hope you enjoy today's show. And, of course, we invite you to tune in again next week at this same time as we bring you topics and information of importance to our community. From all of us here at Thunderbolt Broadcasting, until we meet again next week, I'm Charles Choate.
You've been listening to 30 Minutes, a community affairs program on Thunderbolt Radio. You can listen to this broadcast and others anytime by visiting thunderboltradio.com and following the Thunderbolt Radio and Digital YouTube page. Thanks for listening.